Imagine standing on the edge of a forgotten world, one buried beneath the layers of time, its secrets waiting to be uncovered. You dig into the earth, and with each turn of the shovel, you're not just unearthing ancient artifacts. You're unveiling history's greatest mysteries. From skulls that defy the laws of biology to entire cities hidden beneath the sands of the desert. Some of the most bizarre archaeological discoveries challenge everything we thought we knew about our past. What if history didn't unfold the way we were taught? What if, hidden beneath centuries of dust and soil, there's an ancient truth waiting to be rediscovered? Get ready to dive into the unknown as we explore the strangest, most mind-bending archaeological finds ever discovered, and uncover the stories that could rewrite history as we know it. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this adventure with your friends. Trust me, you won't want them to miss these incredible stories. 1. The mysterious Antikythera Mechanism. The complexity of the Antikythera Mechanism is what truly sets it apart. Imagine being able to calculate the movements of celestial bodies with gears, all meticulously crafted by hands that lived over 2,000 years ago. The gears themselves are nothing short of a marvel, each one interlocking perfectly to create a movement that mimics the vastness of the cosmos. In fact, the technology behind the Antikythera mechanism is so advanced that it wasn't until the 18th century that similar clockwork devices were developed. But here's the kicker. No one knows exactly who built it or how it was used. Some researchers believe it could have been crafted by the ancient Greeks, possibly even by Archimedes himself, who was known for his work with machines. Others speculate it may have been the product of a lost civilization, an ancient people whose knowledge of mechanics and astronomy far surpassed what we thought was possible. Now, the question remains, did the ancient Greeks truly possess the technological brilliance we credit to modern inventors? Or was the Antikythera mechanism the legacy of a forgotten civilization? As scientists continue to study the device using advanced imaging techniques, new insights keep emerging, leading to more questions than answers. One thing is certain, the Antikythera mechanism is not just a relic. It's a glimpse into a world of forgotten knowledge. 2. The disappearing city of Ubar. Picture a city so rich in legend that it's been dubbed the Atlantis of the Sands. Ubar, an ancient city mentioned in the Quran and the writings of travelers, was said to be a magnificent, opulent place, flourishing in the deserts of Arabia. But like so many ancient civilizations, it simply vanished. Or did it? For centuries, Ubar remained an enigma, its very existence questioned by some, while others believed it had been swallowed by the unforgiving desert. According to ancient texts, the city was once home to a prosperous, thriving society, but its people, consumed by greed and arrogance, were cursed and punished by a divine wrath, causing the entire city to sink into the sands. What makes the search for Ubar so compelling is its blend of mythology and historical speculation. In the 1990s, explorers believed they had finally found the remains of Ubar, buried deep beneath the Arabian desert. Using satellite imagery, they identified a region with signs of ancient infrastructure, potentially the ruins of the lost city. But is this truly Ubar, or is it simply another desert mirage? Could the stories of this lost city be more than just myth? As archaeologists continue to dig deeper into the desert, they're getting closer to unraveling the truth behind Ubar's disappearance. Could it be the key to understanding the rise and fall of ancient civilizations? 3. The Nazca Lines. A giant puzzle from the air. Imagine standing on the ground, looking out over a barren desert landscape, completely unaware of the stunning spectacle that lies just beyond your line of sight. The Nazca Lines, a series of massive geoglyphs etched into the earth of southern Peru, are so vast that they can't be fully appreciated until viewed from the sky. These intricate patterns, including animals, geometric shapes, and even human-like figures, were created over 2,000 years ago by the Nazca people. But why would an ancient civilization create such colossal drawings that could only be seen from above? And more intriguingly, how did they manage to accomplish this feat with such precision, using nothing but rudimentary tools? The most mind-boggling aspect of the Nazca Lines is their size. Some of these designs stretch for hundreds of meters. You have to wonder, were they trying to communicate with the gods, sending messages into the heavens? Or were they perhaps involved in astronomical or ritualistic practices, using the lines to mark celestial events or align with constellations? Yet, despite the mystery, there's no definitive answer. Researchers have proposed various theories over the years, from the lines serving as part of a religious offering to the belief that they were part of a complex astronomical calendar. The real question, though, is why? Why go to such extraordinary lengths to create something that could never be fully appreciated from the ground? One thing is for sure. The Nazca Lines continue to captivate the world, urging us to reconsider the capabilities and intentions of ancient civilizations. 9. The stone spheres of Costa Rica. In the dense jungles of Costa Rica, a strange and mysterious discovery has puzzled archaeologists for decades. Scattered across the landscape are hundreds of perfectly round stones, some weighing several tons. These are the infamous stone spheres of Costa Rica, and their purpose remains one of the most intriguing archaeological mysteries in the world. Who created these massive, perfect spheres, and why? First discovered in the 1930s, the stones range in size from small pebbles to giant boulders, with many measuring several feet in diameter. Some are so smooth and symmetrical that they seem to have been crafted by a highly advanced civilization, yet no historical records exist to explain their origin. Theories abound. Some believe they were created as markers for an ancient civilization, while others suggest they had astronomical or ceremonial significance. What's even more curious is the fact that the stones appear to have been deliberately placed in specific areas. Some were found in patterns, as though they were part of a grand design, but there's no concrete evidence to explain what this design may have been. Were these spheres some kind of ancient calendar, a method of navigation, or perhaps a symbol of power and prestige for a lost civilization? As we continue to study these strange stones, one thing becomes clear. The stone spheres of Costa Rica are more than just a geological wonder. They're a reminder that there's still so much about our ancient past that remains hidden, just waiting to be uncovered. 9. The Piri Reis map, a map from the past? In 1513, a world map was created that would baffle historians for centuries. Known as the Piri Reis map, it's a beautifully detailed chart that shows parts of the Americas, Europe, and Africa. Nothing unusual, except for one glaring mystery. The map clearly depicts the coastline of Antarctica, a landmass that was not officially discovered until 1818. How could a map drawn 300 years before this discovery show Antarctica in such accurate detail? The map was drawn by the Ottoman admiral Piri Reis, and it's made from a variety of sources, some of which have been lost to history. It's believed that the map was compiled using ancient naval charts and possibly even knowledge passed down from earlier, forgotten civilizations. Yet, what truly stirs the imagination is the possibility that the Piri Reis map might be evidence of a long-lost civilization with advanced geographical knowledge, one capable of charting distant, unexplored lands, even the frozen south. Some believe that the map's depiction of Antarctica isn't just an error or coincidence. It could be evidence that ancient civilizations had mapped the world in ways we can't fully understand. Could they have known of Antarctica's existence long before modern explorers, and if so, how? Despite numerous theories, the map remains an incredible enigma, reminding us that ancient cultures might have known far more about the world than we've given them credit for. Ari, the crystal skulls, an ancient enigma. Deep in the heart of Central America, hidden among the ruins of ancient temples, lies one of the most intriguing and controversial artifacts ever discovered, the crystal skull. These perfectly carved skulls, made from translucent quartz, have baffled archaeologists, scientists, and mystics alike. What are they? Where did they come from? And, perhaps most intriguingly, why were they created with such precise craftsmanship? The mystery began in the early 20th century, when a number of these skulls were unearthed in Central American sites. The most famous of them all is the Mitchell-Hedges skull, found in the 1920s by Anna Mitchell-Hedges during an expedition in Belize. What makes these skulls so peculiar is not just their extraordinary material, but the fact that they are meticulously carved with such precision that even modern technology struggles to replicate their craftsmanship. Many theories have been proposed. Some believe the skulls hold mystical powers, potentially even possessing the ability to store or channel energy. Others suggest that they may have been created by a lost civilization with advanced knowledge of crystal energy, or even that they were created by extraterrestrial beings. Despite extensive research, no one has been able to explain how the skulls were created with such remarkable accuracy. What's most captivating is that, for all our scientific advancements, these ancient artifacts continue to defy explanation, prompting us to wonder if ancient civilizations were far more advanced and mysterious than we ever imagined. 7. The Baghdad Battery, ancient electricity. In 1938, a curious discovery was made in Iraq, a collection of clay jars, copper and iron, which at first glance appeared to be nothing more than ancient pottery. But these simple objects would spark an incredible debate in the scientific community. These jars, later known as the Baghdad Battery, seem to suggest that ancient civilizations might have had access to electricity, thousands of years before the age of Edison and Tesla. The Baghdad Battery consists of a clay jar, a copper cylinder, and an iron rod. When assembled, the device appears capable of producing a small electric charge, leading some researchers to wonder, could this have been the earliest form of a galvanic cell, essentially an ancient battery? But the big question remains, why would ancient people have built such a device, and what purpose could it have served? Some theorists argue that the battery could have been used for electroplating, a method of coating objects with thin layers of metal, while others believe it might have had a more spiritual purpose, perhaps used in rituals involving electricity. Despite various theories, no one has definitively explained the true function of the Baghdad Battery, leaving many to question. Could the ancients have possessed more advanced technology than we give them credit for? In any case, the discovery of the Baghdad Battery challenges our understanding of ancient technological capabilities, forcing us to rethink what we know about the past. Yitte, the elusive Siberian ice maiden. Buried beneath the frozen expanse of Siberia lies one of the most captivating and well-preserved ancient mummies ever discovered, the Siberian Ice Maiden. Found in 1993 by a group of Russian archaeologists, her body was remarkably intact, preserved in the permafrost for over 2,500 years. But who was this woman, and what can her discovery tell us about the lost world of ancient nomadic tribes in the Eurasian steppes? The Ice Maiden, known as the Princess of Ukok, was a member of the Scythian people, a fierce and nomadic warrior tribe that dominated much of the Eurasian landscape in the 5th century BCE. Her burial site was filled with treasures, including gold artifacts, intricately woven clothing, and even tattooed skin, a rare and striking find that speaks to her high status in society. The tattoos themselves depicted animals, symbols, and scenes from Scythian mythology, offering a glimpse into the culture and beliefs of these ancient peoples. But what truly sets the Ice Maiden apart is the mystery surrounding her death. Some theories suggest she may have been a ruler or religious leader, while others believe she may have been sacrificed. Why was she buried with such lavish items, and what was her connection to the larger Scythian world? Even more intriguingly, could the tattoos on her body have had spiritual significance, possibly offering protection in the afterlife? The Ice Maiden's discovery offers a rare window into the past, leaving us with more questions than answers about her identity and the lost civilizations of Siberia. 9. The Giza Pyramids, built by aliens? For centuries, the Great Pyramids of Giza have stood as a testament to the ancient Egyptian civilization's engineering prowess. But despite all the knowledge and research accumulated over the years, one question continues to baffle both scholars and visitors alike. How were these monumental structures built with such precision, using technology that was, by today's standards, remarkably primitive? The pyramids, especially the Great Pyramid of Khufu, are a marvel of ancient engineering. The sheer scale of the pyramid is enough to leave anyone in awe. Over 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing several tons, were transported and precisely stacked to create a structure that still stands tall after over 4,500 years. And while modern Egyptologists have offered various theories about how the pyramids were built, using ramps, pulleys, and manual labor, the truth still seems elusive. Some have even proposed more outlandish ideas, suggesting that the pyramids could have been built with the help of extraterrestrial beings, given the extraordinary precision and mathematical knowledge required. Could ancient civilizations have had access to advanced technology that we don't fully understand? Or perhaps, as some believe, was there an ancient lost civilization with knowledge far beyond what we attribute to the Egyptians? Whatever the truth may be, the Great Pyramids remain an enigmatic monument to human, or possibly alien, achievement, challenging our understanding of ancient technology and history. Pattupulli, the lost treasure of the pharaohs. For centuries, treasure hunters, archaeologists, and adventurers have searched for one of the greatest riches ever to be buried, the lost treasure of the pharaohs. Legends tell of vast fortunes hidden deep within the tombs of Egypt's ancient rulers, treasures so grand that their discovery could reshape our understanding of history. But despite numerous attempts to uncover it, the treasure remains elusive. The most famous tale of treasure comes from the tomb of Tutankhamun, discovered by British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922. While the discovery of the boy king's tomb was monumental, revealing an incredible array of artifacts, jewelry, and even a golden death mask, many believe that the richest tombs have yet to be found. Rumors of untold treasures hidden in undiscovered tombs or secret chambers beneath the pyramids have fueled decades of exploration. But why was such wealth hidden away? Some scholars believe it was a practice of ensuring that the pharaohs would have everything they needed in the afterlife, a belief deeply embedded in ancient Egyptian culture. Others, however, suggest that the treasure might have been hidden to protect it from invaders, particularly during periods of political instability. Despite the wealth of information we have on ancient Egypt, the mystery of the lost treasures persists. Is there still a hidden vault somewhere, holding the pharaoh's greatest secrets and untold riches, waiting to be uncovered? by those daring enough to seek it out. 11. The Uffington White Horse, ancient mystery. Carved into the chalky hills of Oxfordshire, England, is a mysterious figure that has stood the test of time, the Uffington White Horse. Stretching over 110 meters in length, this prehistoric monument is one of the most famous and enigmatic geoglyphs in the world. But who created it, and what purpose did it serve? The white horse, visible from miles around, has puzzled archaeologists for centuries. Some believe it dates back to the Iron Age, over 3,000 years ago, while others argue it could be even older. But what is certain is that it wasn't just a simple artistic creation. It was carefully designed, with its elongated form and sweeping curves, etched into the hillside with great precision. The horse appears to gallop across the landscape, a striking figure against the backdrop of the green fields. Yet no records exist to explain its origin. One of the prevailing theories is that the white horse was created for ritualistic purposes, perhaps as a symbol of fertility, as horses were often linked to ancient deities and agricultural cycles. Some even believe it might have been intended to honor a god or commemorate a significant event in local history. Despite the many theories, the true purpose of the Uffington White Horse remains a mystery. Was it a tribute to the gods, or something else entirely? As we gaze upon this ancient symbol, we're reminded that some mysteries, no matter how much time passes, continue to elude our understanding. 12. The Moai statues of Easter Island. On a small, remote island in the Pacific Ocean stands a group of mysterious stone figures, hundreds of massive Moai statues, each with oversized heads and solemn expressions. These statues, found on Easter Island, have long fascinated explorers and archaeologists. Who created them? How did they transport these enormous stones, some weighing as much as 80 tons, across the island? And most importantly, why? The Moai statues were built by the Rapa Nui people between 1400 and 1650 AD, and they are thought to represent ancestral figures, possibly chiefs or important leaders. Their towering presence is meant to honor and embody the spiritual power of the individuals they depict. But the real mystery lies in how they were moved. The Rapa Nui people had no wheel or draft animals, so how could they transport these massive statues across an island that's only 63 square miles in size? Many theories have been proposed, from the use of complex systems of ropes and manpower, to the possibility that the statues were walked upright, a technique described in some modern experiments. But the true method remains elusive, as no definitive explanation has been found. And then there's the question of why the Moai were abandoned. At one point, the island's deforestation, partly caused by the extensive effort to move the statues, led to ecological collapse and social unrest. Were the Moai abandoned as a result of this upheaval, or was there another, deeper reason? The Moai statues continue to stand guard over Easter Island, silent sentinels to a culture whose mysteries are yet to be fully unraveled. 13. The floating stones of Easter Island. As if the mystery of the Moai statues weren't enough, Easter Island holds another strange enigma: floating stones. These stones, known as pukao, are large cylindrical hats that were placed on top of many Moai statues. But what makes them even more perplexing is the fact that they seem to have been made of a unique volcanic material that is unusually light, almost as though they could float. The pukao are made from a type of red scoria rock, which is lighter and more porous than other volcanic stones. The fact that they were placed on top of the Moai statues, often on top of very tall structures, raises a key question. How did the ancient Rapa Nui people manage to move and place these massive stones, especially given their weight and the lack of modern tools? Some researchers believe that the pukao were carved in a quarry several miles away from where they were placed, making the transport of these objects even more extraordinary. The conventional wisdom suggests that they were rolled or dragged using simple tools and manpower. But the precise method remains a mystery. What's even more fascinating is the spiritual significance these stones may have held. Did they represent a powerful symbol for the Moai, or were they simply a means of paying tribute to the ancestors? Whatever the reason, the pukao, like the Moai themselves, remain an enduring symbol of the ingenuity and mystery of Easter Island's ancient inhabitants. 14. The Lost City of Atlantis, real or fiction? The legend of Atlantis has captivated the imaginations of people for thousands of years. Described by the Greek philosopher Plato, Atlantis was an advanced civilization, a paradise filled with riches and extraordinary technology. However, it met a tragic end when it was supposedly swallowed by the ocean, disappearing without a trace. But was Atlantis real, or just a myth passed down through the ages? Plato's accounts of Atlantis have sparked endless speculation. According to his writings, Atlantis was a powerful, prosperous kingdom located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. The Atlanteans were said to have mastered advanced technology, building magnificent cities and wielding great power. But their greed and corruption led to their downfall, as the gods sent a cataclysmic event that submerged the entire civilization into the sea. For centuries, explorers, archaeologists, and historians have debated whether Atlantis was a real place or a metaphor for the dangers of excess and hubris. Some believe that Plato's story may have been based on real events, such as the eruption of the Minoan volcano on Santorini, which caused widespread devastation and could have inspired the Atlantis myth. Others have suggested that the story might be purely allegorical, created to convey moral lessons. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the idea of Atlantis continues to fascinate us. Could it have been a real civilization that existed and vanished in the blink of an eye? Or is it simply a powerful story woven into the fabric of human imagination? 15. The ancient underwater city of Yonaguni. Deep off the coast of Japan lies a mysterious underwater structure that has stirred controversy and intrigue for decades. The Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1987 by a local diver, appears to be an ancient city submerged beneath the ocean's surface. But is it the remnants of a lost civilization, or simply a natural rock formation? The Yonaguni Monument consists of vast terraced stone formations, sharp edges, and right angles that resemble man-made structures, almost as if an ancient city was intentionally constructed on the ocean floor. Some claim it's the remains of a large pyramid-like structure, with stairs, platforms, and walls that seem deliberately cut and shaped. But how could such a monumental structure end up submerged underwater? The most widely debated theory is that the Yonaguni Monument is the remains of an advanced, prehistoric civilization that existed at least 10,000 years ago, long before the rise of known ancient cultures. Proponents of this theory argue that the structure may have once been part of a city that sank due to a natural disaster, such as an earthquake or tsunami. However, skeptics argue that the formations are entirely natural, shaped by erosion and geological processes over millennia. Despite extensive studies and excavations, the truth behind the Yonaguni Monument remains uncertain. Was it built by an ancient civilization, or is it just a strange quirk of nature? Either way, the monument stands as a tantalizing reminder that the ocean holds many secrets yet to be discovered. 16. The blood-filled tombs of the Maya. In the dense jungles of Central America, the tombs of the ancient Maya civilization hold secrets that continue to intrigue archaeologists. But one particular discovery, an ancient tomb filled with a mysterious red substance, has led to a chilling question. Was it blood or something else entirely? And what did it signify about the Maya's spiritual beliefs and rituals? In 2007, an excavation at the Maya site of Uaxactun revealed a tomb filled with a reddish liquid, which researchers initially believed to be blood. The tomb, belonging to a high-ranking ruler, contained a variety of ritualistic items, including jaguar bones, jade ornaments, and ceramic vessels. But it was the presence of this red substance that sparked the most interest. Was it blood, or was it a symbol of something much deeper in the Maya belief system? Blood, in Maya culture, was incredibly important. It was seen as a vital force that connected humans to the gods. The Maya believed that blood sacrifices were necessary to maintain the balance of the universe and ensure the fertility of the land. This tomb, filled with what appeared to be blood, could be evidence of an elaborate sacrificial ritual, one that aimed to appease the gods and ensure the ruler's safe passage into the afterlife. The discovery adds another layer of complexity to our understanding of Maya rituals. Could blood sacrifices have been more common than we previously thought? And what does this tomb reveal about the Maya's view of life, death, and the divine? Padinere, the Dead Sea Scrolls, Messages from the Past. In 1947, a discovery was made in the caves near the Dead Sea that would forever change our understanding of ancient religious texts. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of over 900 manuscripts, are considered one of the most important archaeological finds of the 20th century. These ancient texts, written between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, offer an extraordinary glimpse into the beliefs and practices of a Jewish sect that existed during the time of Jesus. But the true significance of the scrolls goes far beyond their historical value. The Dead Sea Scrolls contain fragments from nearly every book of the Hebrew Bible, including some of the earliest known copies of the Old Testament. In addition to biblical texts, the scrolls also include sectarian writings, such as rules for communal living, hymns, and prophecies. The most famous of these scrolls is the Isaiah Scroll, a nearly complete copy of the Book of Isaiah that is over 2,000 years old. The accuracy of these ancient texts has amazed scholars, revealing just how little the Bible has changed over millennia. But the scrolls also raise fascinating questions about the diversity of religious thought during this period. Were the sectarians who wrote the scrolls simply a small, isolated group, or did their beliefs influence the development of Christianity? The Dead Sea Scrolls remain a powerful reminder of the rich and complex history of religious traditions and the mysteries of the past that still resonate today. 18. The Mummified Lamb of China. In the heart of China, a strange and perfectly preserved mummified lamb was discovered in a tomb dating back to the Tang dynasty. While ancient mummies of humans and animals are not uncommon, what makes this mummified lamb so fascinating is not just its preservation, but the bizarre nature of its discovery and the mysteries it holds. The lamb, discovered in 2004, was found alongside a burial site containing a variety of artifacts, including pottery, gold jewelry, and even a warrior's helmet. What's striking, however, is the remarkable state in which the lamb was found. Its body was mummified with such care that its fur, hooves, and facial features were clearly preserved, almost as if it had been carefully wrapped and placed in a tomb as an offering. But why a lamb? And why such an intricate burial for an animal? Some believe that the lamb may have been a sacrificial offering tied to the religious practices of the Tang dynasty, where animals were often offered to gods or ancestors to ensure prosperity and protection. Others have speculated that the lamb's preservation could be a symbolic gesture, representing the role of animals in the afterlife, or a tribute to nature's importance in the culture. The mummified lamb is more than just an archaeological curiosity. It's a window into the belief systems and rituals of ancient China, shedding light on the customs of a long-gone civilization. But the true reason for its preservation remains a mystery, leaving us to wonder about the deep connections between humans, animals, and the divine. 19. The Lost Kingdom of the Incas. High in the Andes Mountains lies a tale of mystery and grandeur, one of the most enduring and elusive stories of the ancient world. The Lost Kingdom of the Incas. While the Inca Empire once stretched across vast stretches of South America, its capital, the legendary City of Gold, known as Paititi, is said to have vanished, leaving behind only myths and rumors. But what happened to this powerful civilization, and where is the city of Paititi? The Incas were known for their remarkable achievements in engineering, agriculture, and governance. But despite their vast empire, the whereabouts of Paititi, which many believe to be a hidden sanctuary, have never been conclusively identified. Some say it lies deep within the jungles of Peru, while others believe it's somewhere in the mountains of Ecuador or Bolivia. The last known mention of Paititi comes from the Spanish conquistadors, who after capturing the Inca emperor Atahualpa, searched for the city and its rumored treasures, never to find it. What's most fascinating is that the Incas were known to hide their wealth and precious artifacts during the Spanish invasion, and some speculate that they created elaborate systems to conceal their riches in remote and inaccessible areas. Could Paititi have been a refuge for the Incas after the fall of their empire? Or was it simply a myth born of the Incas' own legend-making? As explorers continue to search for this lost kingdom, the story of the Incas' final stronghold remains one of the most captivating mysteries in the history of the Americas. Irubada, the mysterious devil's footprints of England. In the English countryside, a curious set of mysterious footprints has been the subject of intrigue and terror for centuries. Known as the Devil's Footprints, these strange hoof-like marks appeared overnight in 1855, leaving a trail that seemed to stretch for miles across the snow-covered ground of Devon. What makes these footprints so baffling isn't just their eerie shape, but the inexplicable nature of their origin. How could they have appeared so suddenly, and what caused them? The footprints, which measured around 4 inches long and were spaced roughly 8 to 16 inches apart, were found to be remarkably uniform. But it wasn't the size or the shape that caught attention. It was the trail itself. The tracks seemed to lead in a straight line, crisscrossing fields, over fences, and even across rooftops, without deviation or apparent explanation. The strangest part? There were no visible animal tracks leading to or from the footprints. No one could explain how the prints, which appeared to be that of a cloven hoof, had materialized overnight. For many, the devil's footprints were a supernatural occurrence, possibly the work of the devil himself, as local folklore suggested. Others have proposed more rational explanations: a prank, a hoax, or perhaps a rare weather phenomenon that left strange patterns in the snow. But no one has ever been able to definitively explain the origin of the footprints. Could they be the work of something or someone far beyond our understanding? The mystery remains unsolved, leaving behind a haunting reminder of the unknown. 21. The Great Wall of China, Ancient Enigma. Stretching over 13,000 miles, the Great Wall of China is one of the most iconic structures on the planet. But beyond its sheer size and monumental scale, the wall is shrouded in mystery. How was such a colossal feat of engineering achieved without the advanced tools and machinery we rely on today? And what secrets does this ancient structure hold about the civilization that built it? Construction of the wall began as early as the 7th century BC, but the most well-known sections were built during the Ming dynasty in the 15th century. While its primary purpose was to protect China from invasions by nomadic tribes, especially the Mongols, the Great Wall also symbolizes the strength, determination, and ingenuity of ancient Chinese civilization. But how did such an ambitious project come to life, using only rudimentary technology, human labor, and natural materials like stone, brick, and wood? The wall's construction took decades, even centuries, to complete, involving millions of workers. Yet, what remains most baffling is the sheer scale of the endeavor, as well as the mysteries hidden within its walls. What's truly fascinating is the fact that, despite the years of research and exploration, much of the Great Wall's history remains elusive. For example, what happened to the workers who spent their lives building it? Some reports suggest that many perished during its construction, while others claim that their spirits still haunt the wall today. The Great Wall of China continues to stand as an enigma, offering answers to some questions, but raising even more. 22. The Pharaoh's Curse, real or myth? For centuries, the legend of the Pharaoh's Curse has captured the imaginations of people around the world. According to the myth, anyone who disturbs the tombs of ancient Egyptian pharaohs will face a terrible fate: sickness, death, and misfortune. But is there any truth to these stories, or are they just the stuff of superstition? The most famous case of the supposed curse is tied to the discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922. When British archaeologist Howard Carter opened the tomb, a series of strange and tragic events soon followed. Several members of Carter's expedition, including Lord Carnarvon, the financier of the dig, died under mysterious circumstances shortly after the tomb's discovery. Carnarvon, in particular, died from an infected mosquito bite, leading to widespread rumors that the curse was real. The press had a field day, sensationalizing the deaths and fueling the myth that disturbing a pharaoh's final resting place invited a deadly curse. But could these deaths be explained by coincidence, bacteria, or even the psychological power of belief? Some researchers suggest that the supposed curse could simply be a result of the lack of modern medical knowledge, or the possibility of dangerous pathogens trapped in the tombs for thousands of years. While the deaths surrounding the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb remain a fascinating and eerie story, the reality of the so-called Pharaoh's curse remains a mystery. Is it a true supernatural force, or just a myth designed to explain the unexplained? 23. The Lost Tomb of Genghis Khan. Deep within the Mongolian steppes, hidden among the vast and unforgiving landscape, lies the final resting place of one of history's most fearsome conquerors, Genghis Khan. Known for creating the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen, Khan's death in 1227 left the Mongol Empire in the hands of his heirs, but his tomb, still lost to this day, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of archaeology. According to historical accounts, Genghis Khan's tomb was designed to be a closely guarded secret. His death was followed by a series of rituals to ensure that no one would ever discover his burial site. It is said that soldiers who were tasked with building his tomb were executed afterward to prevent them from revealing its location. As a result, despite centuries of searching by explorers and archaeologists, no one has been able to pinpoint the exact location of his tomb. Theories abound regarding the whereabouts of the tomb. Some believe it could be located near the Onon River, where Khan was born, while others think it may lie near the ancient Mongol capital of Karakoram. Yet, the tomb remains elusive. Could it be buried under a mountain, disguised by nature, or hidden beneath a vast network of caves? As researchers continue to search, Genghis Khan's tomb remains an emblem of the enduring power and mystery of one of history's most legendary figures. Could it ever be found? Or is it destined to remain forever lost, an eternal symbol of Mongol dominance? 24. The Ancient Giant's Causeway of Ireland. On the rugged coastline of Northern Ireland, there lies a natural wonder that has sparked myths, legends, and endless speculation. The Giant's Causeway. Composed of around 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, this UNESCO World Heritage Site stretches across the sea, creating a surreal landscape that seems almost too perfect to be the result of natural processes. But is it simply a masterpiece of geology, or could it be something far more mysterious? The columns of the Giant's Causeway, some as tall as 12 meters, form a striking geometric pattern, creating the illusion of a man-made structure. This has led to many fantastical stories about its origins. According to local folklore, the causeway was built by the Irish giant Fionn mac Cumhal, who created it as a bridge to cross into Scotland to fight a rival giant. This myth was likely inspired by the striking visual of the formations, which appear so carefully aligned. From a scientific standpoint, the Giant's Causeway was formed around 60 million years ago, during a period of intense volcanic activity. As molten lava cooled, it contracted, causing it to fracture into the familiar hexagonal shapes. While the formation itself is a natural wonder, the sheer symmetry of the columns continues to captivate the imagination, giving rise to stories of giants and magical lands. Despite the scientific explanations, the Giant's Causeway remains one of the most enchanting places on Earth, blending the magic of myth with the power of nature. 25. The Mystery of the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin is one of the most famous and most controversial relics in the world. This linen cloth, believed by many to be the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, bears the faint image of a man who appears to have suffered a violent death. But is the shroud truly the sacred cloth that wrapped Christ's body after his crucifixion? Or is it simply an elaborate hoax created centuries later? For centuries, the shroud has captivated religious believers and skeptics alike. The image on the cloth shows a man with wounds that correspond closely to those described in the New Testament. Marks on the wrists, feet, and side, as well as a crown of thorns. But what makes the shroud so perplexing is the fact that no one knows how the image was created. Some believe it was the result of natural processes, like a chemical reaction, while others propose that it was the result of an artistic technique, such as painting or even a photographic method. Radiocarbon dating performed in 1988 placed the shroud's origins in the Middle Ages, around the 13th century, which has led some to argue that the cloth is a medieval forgery. However, many still believe that the shroud is much older, perhaps dating back to the time of Christ, pointing to the remarkable details of the image and the cloth's history. The Shroud of Turin remains a mystery wrapped in religious significance and scientific intrigue. Could it be the actual burial cloth of Jesus, or is it simply a powerful symbol of faith and mystery that has endured through the ages?